I don't know if you've seen, but August was a crazy month for watches. So many new releases, so many cool things that just came out, and I'm gonna go over some of the coolest pieces and give you guys kind of an overview of the watches. First up, Bulgari. And I've always said this, the last couple years, Bulgari really stepped it up with their watchmaking, the designs, and everything that they do. We have the Octo Finismo Automatic, and we have the Octo Finismo Perpetual. So after my first look at it and my initial thoughts, I was like, whoa, that is cool, because they added a perpetual calendar, the thinness of the bracelet, thinness of the case, but they added a sporty feel to it. You could dress the watch up and you could dress the watch down, and especially with the rose gold accents, beautiful. I love color to my watches. I don't like my watches just being like super bland. You know me, the more color it has, the more I like it. And especially the back casing of it, the way they did it full gold, it's almost like a piece of art. Now a little bit about this watch. It's gonna sit at a 40mm case size, and it's gonna be their in-house caliber movement, and it's gonna have a 60-hour power reserve. And as for the retail of the time only, not the perpetual calendar, it's gonna be $26,800. And for the horology and everything that went into making the casing, the material, it's actually not that bad. Now, to sum this watch up, if I were to give it to 1 out of 10, I would probably give it an 8, just because I don't like fully square watches, and I like a little bit of thickness to my watches as well. The Octo for me is a little bit thin, but look-wise, I would give the watch a 10 out of 10. Now, for IWC's release, their Pilot Black Aces 41mm case size. This is a cool watch. All black casing, black strap with a beautiful bright white dial. You're gonna have that Black Ace logo right on the bottom by the 6 o'clock with the red accents. It's gonna sit at a 41mm case size, and it's gonna have a black oxidized ceramic casing to kind of give it that matte look to it. And honestly guys, the amount of work that went into this watch and a retail price of only $6,800, honestly, very good deal. And a lot of people that dig into these watches and buy these kind of watches because they look into the history of the watch, the way that it was made, what it stands for, and IWC does a really good job of making their watches actually stand for something. To rate this watch from a 1 to 10, from a simplicity standpoint, but design-wise, I would probably give it a 9, because I think for a time only, what they did to it, the design of it, absolutely beautiful. Wearability, sometimes IWC, the straps do come a little bit further. I would probably give it a 7.5. Now, we got the Seamaster Diver 300 Paris for all my Europeans out there. It's a 2024 release, and it's gonna be a special edition. My first reaction to design, I love it. I love the fact they went back to their classic design. They made it a limited edition, yellow gold accent on the hour markers, the minute and the hour hand. And I like the fact that they didn't do the crown in yellow gold. They left that in stainless steel. They kind of toned it down a little bit, but they also toned it up with the bezel. And it comes with really cool, really different, unique straps, which I personally love. I love color, I love rubber straps. I tend to wear more rubber and leather straps than metal bracelets. I mean, check out the colors on those, dude. You got the red, green, black, yellow. I love it. I would personally probably throw the yellow on there. I think that would look really cool with the NATO style. When you walk in a room, people will notice that watch. Now let's talk about even buying one of these watches, right? A lot of these companies, what they'll do is they'll come out with boutique only watches. When they say boutique only, what that means is if you walk into an authorized dealer that's authorized for many brands and not just Omega, it's not like an Omega boutique, there's certain pieces that you can't order from those stores. Omega went the extra mile with this one. They made it so that you could only get this watch at the Omega boutique in the host of Paris, because Paris is hosting the next Olympic 2024. And honestly, at $8,700, it's really not that bad. You're getting gold to the watch, stainless steel, beautiful movement, and it's a buy. If the watch only came on a bracelet, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10, because I'm not too crazy fond of their bracelet. But the fact that they added the NATO straps to the quick release, I give the watch a 9 out of 10. Now this is a sick piece. AP did an exceptional job on this watch. So this watch is gonna sit at a 34mm case size. Now, when you flip the watch on the back casing, I mean, look at that back casing. They made it so unique. They did the whole thing in rose gold, so it really pops out. A lot of people will go, oh, well, they added it and you don't see it, but you know what? The person that wears it, each time they take that watch off, it'll make them fall in love with it over again. AP did make this watch in the same model, but they made it with the black ceramic casing. That watch did go in the 55 to 60K range. This watch with the white ceramic retails for $53,000. I'm gonna say it'll probably end up being in the 70 to 80, maybe even mid 80 range, because of the color combination on it. Anything with white ceramic, blue ceramic that AP does, it goes for crazy amounts, and it's gonna be a very difficult watch to get. You're gonna have to be a high profile customer at AP in order to even be offered this watch. AP, scale it on a 1 through 10. Design-wise, 10 out of 10. Wearability, I wish they made it in the 37mm, I'm not gonna lie. 34mm does wear small, but I would still rate it overall 8 out of 10. Roger Dubuis makes some of the sickest watches, design-wise, movement-wise, out of this world. What I just said does not change with this. Excalibur Spider flyback chronograph. It's gonna sit at a 45mm case size with a full flyback chronograph and is equipped with the carbon case and ceramic bezel. My first initial thoughts of this watch. The red really stands out to me, pops out. I hope they have a red strap that comes with it. I would probably take it, put on the red strap, and I would rock that thing on a casual day, going to the mall, hanging out with the family, going for lunch. It is a little bit of a sportier watch, but hey, I've worn watches like that to weddings with red straps, green straps, blue straps. It doesn't matter. As long as you're comfortable with it, it's gonna look good. Now, pricing, Roger Dubuis is not shy to put a price tag on their watches. This watch is gonna retail for a little over $100,000. You know, it's not gonna be a cheaper watch. They do have some in the lower end as well, but resale value, they do lose value. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys, but at the end of the day, if you're buying a watch for the love of it, the look, you enjoy it, it's always gonna be worth money at the end, but you will lose a little more value with Roger Dubuis opposed to other brands. I would rate it a 9 out of 10. For me, when I buy watches for my personal self, I do look at value, of course, but the first thing I look at is, do I like the watch? Am I gonna enjoy it? Because if I buy a watch and I wear it, I enjoy it, I love it, and I lose a little bit of money, you know what? It was well worth it to me, right? Because I got the enjoyment out of it, I got to wear it, I got compliments on it, and I felt good with it. So that's gotta be worth money too. Now, we got a new release for the Richard Mille. They're ending the chapter on the RM30, which was originally produced in 2011, and they're coming out with the RM03. I love the color of it. I love the fact that they added that orange to the blue with the blue crown. Richard Mille is definitely not afraid of coming out with bright colors, bright designs, and really changing it up. 1 out of 10, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. I know people are gonna go, oh, you're riding on the bandwagon. I like Richard Mille. I personally do like it. Anytime we get one in, I wear it right away. All this obviously is gonna come with a price, right? The titanium version retails for around $208,000. The rose gold version is gonna retail for around $250,000 to $255,000. And this is one of their entry levels too. This is not even one of their crazier ones. Now, moving on to AP. They came out with the collaboration with the designer Matthew Williams, and they're gonna be auctioning off all the new releases to help disadvantaged kids for the NGO program. I really like the aspect behind it, and I like what AP is doing, helping raise money and donate all the proceeds to charity. As for the watches, I've talked to many people about it. I've talked to many dealers. I've talked to many customers that actually collect APs that work directly with AP. I get mixed emotions about it. A lot of people go, I don't like the design. I don't know what AP was thinking. It's a little too bland, too plain. Me personally, I don't mind it. I don't hate it. If I were to pick one, I would probably pick the yellow gold one, and I would probably do the royal oak offshore on this design. I wouldn't even do the royal oak. I love the chunkiness of it. I like the plainness of it. I think it's a cool piece. And the fact that it's gonna be raising money for charity, for children, I think, you know what? Good job, AP. They should do more things like this to help people around the world. Going on to the royal oak, extra thin, jumbo, and they made this in white gold. This is gonna be the 16202 BC. Beautiful blue grain dial. This watch is sick. I love the dial on it. I love the color that they did. And I love the fact that it's almost like a speckle. That I like different things. I like unique things. I've seen a lot of watches. I've dealt with a lot of watches. I've held a lot of watches. So for me, when companies and brands do things like this, it really excites me because they're thinking out of the box. They're becoming a little bit riskier. I think it's a great piece. Now it's gonna sit at a 39mm case size. A lot of people get confused when they hear the jumbo and they're not too familiar with the AP lineup. Whenever you see the extra thin jumbo, it always gonna sit at a 39mm. AP did an excellent job. If I were to give it a 1 out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.5 because I personally do like a little bit thicker on the casing. I think the jumbos are a little bit too thin for me, but that's just my personal wrist size, right? A lot of people actually think the 41mm is too big and they like, you know, the 38mm APs, the 39mm APs. Some guys even wear the 37mm APs. So personal preference, and I would definitely be a buyer for one. All right, guys, that's gonna be the August releases. If I missed anything, please let us know in the comment down below. I know there's a lot more watches that came out. We obviously can't cover every single one of them. Those are some of the ones that stood out to me. Comment down below which ones stood out to you guys and what you guys liked about them and what you guys would rate the watches that we did. Thanks for always watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.